Welcome to this very segment, this special episode of our broadcast today. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you, depending on your time zone. I welcome you. Thank you, my returning subscribers. Thank you, new subscribers. Welcome to the family. We have more than 300 new subscribers within the space of 1 week. Welcome. I appreciate every one of you. Those of you that respond to the notifications, anytime you receive a notification that I'm live on air or a content is uploaded to this channel, and you try to make sure you come to see what we have and also to support, to share, to like, and to comment, to inspire others. Thank you very much. I really appreciate every one of you. Welcome to the family. The new trial judge of Nnamdi Kanu, Justice James Kolowole Omotosho, he is going to take care of the retrial of Nnamdi Kanu. Why I say retrial is because the trial has gone on for several years, all the way from 2015 until now. And this new trial judge is going to begin from the very beginning. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is starting afresh. It's beginning from the very top of it, starting with what I call hearing. That is the legal proceedings. There will be hearing, first of all. In this very court of justice, Omotosho, it is seen that this case is coming for the first time to the court. This case has not been in his court. This case has been in the court records of Nigeria, all the way from Justice Ademola of the Federal High Court, down to Justice Binta Nyako, down to Soho, and now Justice James Omotosho. It is beginning afresh. The notice for hearing has been served on the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, and the hearing is slated to hold on the 21st of March 2025. And then there will be the arraignment. There will be the arraignment of Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, he has been arraigned severally. He has been arraigned in 2015 when he was arrested. Was it, I think, on the 14th of October 2015. He was arraigned. Okay? And then he was also arraigned in the court of Justice Soho. He was arraigned in the court of Justice Binta Nyako. Now he's going to be arraigned, or should I say re-arraigned. This is just like what happened in the time of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua HaMashiach. From Herod to Pontius Pilate, from Pontius Pilate back to Herod, from Herod back to Pontius Pilate again. But the only difference is that there is not going to be the crucifixion this time around, because there is a supernatural intervention that is going on the altar of prayer, to ensure that that very justice that is being perverted will not be the end of the very cycle of trial of Nnamdi Kanu. 21st of March 2025. Now, it might interest you to know that the trial judge, the new trial judge, is of the same age with Nnamdi Kanu, a difference of 1 year. He was born on the 21st of July, 1966, while Nnamdi Kanu was born on the 25th of September, 1967. Just 1 year gap. It is going to be tough. And that is why the spiritual dimension of this matter and the prophetic guideline cannot be underestimated, because this is going to be tough. Please, the first thing to do right now is to like the broadcast. Like the broadcast. A lot of people need to be guided. A lot of people need to know what to expect in this very second phase, or should I say the third phase, if not the fourth phase of the legal proceedings or cycle of trials of Nnamdi Kanu. They need to understand what they're supposed to do. They need to understand the spiritual perspective. They need to understand the prophetic guideline, and they need to walk according to instructions, according to directions. I will be giving you scriptures with which we will be following up this case in prayers. I'm going to give you the scriptures. The book of Psalms chapter 7. The book of Psalms chapter 7 from verse 9 to 15. We are going to read it later before the end of this broadcast. Please like the broadcast. Like it. That is number one. When you like the broadcast, YouTube is going to recommend it to other people to come and watch and see what they're supposed to understand and have a better understanding of what to expect, so that they will not be taken unawares. Please, it's important to do so. And secondly, share the broadcast. There is no limit to your sharing. Share on Facebook, share on X, share on Instagram, share on TikTok, share to your WhatsApp contact, inbox people, you can tag people so that they will come and watch to understand what is going to happen. And I want to state, lest I forget, I want to put it very, very clearly to you that this is the last legal cycle of the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. This is the last legal cycle. This is the last lap of the cycle. This is the last. This is the last. Take note of it. So this is going to be considered as the final battle that will crown the victory of Nnamdi Kanu. This is the very final battle that will crown the victory of Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, he has been victorious. God has given him victories. Several years that has gone by, God has given him victory. All the way from 2015 to 2017, the Operation Python that stood, he didn't die. He escaped and he was safe. He was nearly killed in Kenya in the month of June 2021, but God preserved his life. He came back to life after 8 days. Within the 8 days of the torture, according to the records of the United Nations judgment and other relevant, credible sources, he passed out about 2 times. God brought him back to life before he was abducted and extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria. He has been in Nigeria under the worst inhuman and degrading treatment and the worst version of torture. This is not coming from me. This is coming from different credible eyewitnesses, both those that visit him at the dungeon and other, whether it is independent or well-meaning citizens of Nigeria who have the opportunity to visit him. They have all come out to confess the same, that the condition of his detention is very deplorable. United Nations had carried out its independent findings and investigations that gave birth to a 114-paragraph judgment that is so comprehensive, detailing how Nnamdi Kanu was abducted, how he was bundled back to Nigeria, how he was extraordinarily renditioned and kept under the worst inhuman and degrading treatment and conditions in the DSS headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. So I am not making it up. It is in the public domain. Again, like this broadcast, please do so. I'm going to bring further detail of the trial judge of Nnamdi Kanu to you. I'm going to bring his further detail. I'm going to bring certain references that I made about him. This will guide you also to expect the outcome of this last cycle of his legal proceedings in Nigeria that will be presided over by Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. He's a Yoruba man, okay? Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Yoruba man, the president of Nigeria. Now, this Justice James Omotosho, as I said, he's almost the same age mate with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He was born on the 21st of July 1966. You remember, 1966 was the year of the pogrom against the Igbos, in which more than 100,000 of them died. And because the Nigerian state was not able to protect them in the north, the former Igbo leader or the Biafran leader, General Dem Odumegwu Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, asked that the Igbos should come back to the east, which was the old eastern region of Nigeria, known as the Biafran territory, for their safety and their protection. And so, you know what then happened after the Nile came back. There was the first shot that was fired by the Nigerian army at 9 miles, Enugu, which now ushered in the Biafra and Nigeria war. The Nigerian state was the one that gave the first shot. It wasn't Ojukwu. That is not the focus of this broadcast. But I'm trying to look at the date or the birthday or the year in which this justice was born, and also the year in which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was born. July 1966. That was when Justice James Omotosho was born. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was born on the 25th of September 1967. Just a difference of 1 year. So they are almost age mate. As I said in the opening of this broadcast, this very last cycle of the legal proceedings of Nnamdi Kanu is going to be so interesting, and it is going to be tough It is going to be tough. Justice James Omotosho is going to be fierce. I am telling you now so that you take note of it. He's going to be fierce. One of the things he's going to use in these legal proceedings, or in the trial, or should I say, the retrial of Nnamdi Kanu in his court, one of the things or approaches he is going to use is psychological. He's going to use more of psychological approach and input or import against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in this trial. I hope that the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu, they are watching this broadcast. You can share to them. Let them prepare ahead of time. They must be prepared, because this judge, I am going to give you some details about his legal antecedents or records. Okay? It may not be the complete detail, but I'm going to give you a handful of it to understand what to expect. He is going to use or adopt or import some psychological tactics against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in this case. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will go ahead to represent himself as he has done in the previous court proceedings, this is going to certainly take place. Even if he is not going to represent himself, if he is going to allow his legal team to fully represent him right inside the courtroom of Justice James Omotosho, still, this very trial judge, I am telling you what will happen. And that is why we are going to continuously stand in the gap on the altars of prayer and from the prophetic chamber to see how the proceedings will be going on, in order to profile or to bring about some divine intervention for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be victorious again, for him to be victorious again, as we have been doing over the years. Let me repeat. Please like this broadcast immediately. Don't procrastinate. Don't say later you are going to like it. Later I'm going to share it. Do that immediately, because a lot of people need to come and join us to begin to learn from the real source. From the real source, what to expect in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. I said number one, this Justice James Omotosho, almost the same age mate with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is going to use or adopt some certain measure of psychological tactics and method and approaches in this case. And his target is Nnamdi Kanu, not the legal team. Listen to me carefully. The target of this judge is to manipulate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu psychologically through some psychological import that has some legal or constitutional merits or backings. He will do it. Number two, he is going to be more confrontational in this case. Not confronting the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, but confronting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in person with legal jamborees, legal terminologies, constitutional terminologies. He is going to explore certain loopholes in the Constitution of Nigeria to ensure that he secure the intention, that he achieve, that he execute the intention of Britain via Nigerian government. Remember that what is playing out is the British interest. That is what that is playing out. And the neo-colonialist interest at large. That is what is playing out, specifically Britain. I've said this some time ago and I'm repeating it again. He is going to be confrontational. He is going to explore certain lacunas, certain loopholes in the Constitution that he feels that will be of great advantage to the Nigerian state in securing the conviction or the frustration of the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever I tell you, you can take it to the bank. Remember, it's not long that I concluded my 7 days dry fasting and prayers, and we have not stopped praying. We are still praying. We will continue to pray. Try and locate the broadcast I made on the 2nd of March on this very platform. That 7 days dry fasting started on the 24th of February. Do you know? A day after the dry fasting started, on the 25th, this very case was reassigned. It might interest you to know. The dry fasting started on the 24th of February. and the case was reassigned on the 25th of February. Anytime we take a major spiritual step to intervene, to bring about divine intervention in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, there is always a major move. There is always a shift of the paradigm. There's always a change in the status quo. There is always a major leap to victory in the legal proceedings or the court outings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am not going to repeat what I've said some time ago. I'm not going to repeat that. Look at my channel, Maxwell Nnawuihe. Look at my channel, Maxwell Nnawuihe. The recent broadcast I made here was on the 2nd of March and on the 10th of March. Look at it. On the 10th of March, 2nd of March was the last day of my 7 days dry fasting. I made a broadcast here in which the case of Nnamdi Kanu was mentioned and attended to. I prophesied and I prayed over his case. Okay? When the dry fasting started on the 24th, the case was reassigned on the 25th. Now, to save time, after this broadcast, go and watch the broadcast I made on the 10th of March. You have to watch it because it's like a follow-up. This broadcast is like a follow-up of the broadcast I made on the 10th of March. I don't want to repeat the things I said on the 10th of March. So to save us time for this particular broadcast, after watching this broadcast, go and watch that broadcast, which is also a continuation of the broadcast I made on the 2nd of March. The 2nd of March was the day I broke my 7 days dry fasting. And then the follow-up of that broadcast was on the 10th of March. I said a lot of things. Go back to that broadcast and watch it so that you can understand this particular broadcast I am making right now. Very, very important. So I am urging you, like this broadcast, share it, comment to encourage people, comment to make your own input, not to condemn, because if you don't really understand what I'm saying, you have to listen to all other of my broadcasts. This is not just to take credit. That will help you to guide you in the type of comment you make in the chat section. Very important. Now, without further ado, I'm going to bring to you some important and striking detail of this new trial judge of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. I am still Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe. In case you are just joining us now, now I am bringing it to you without further ado. Remember, I told you that I'm going to read out to you Psalms chapter 7 from verse 9 to 15. Psalms chapter 7 from verse 9 to 15 is going to be a scripture for our prayer point regarding the case of Nnamdi Kanu that is coming up very soon. Now, Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. This is coming from Opinion Nigeria. This publication was made on the 12th of March, 2025. It is not coming from me. Everything I'm going to read out here is coming from Opinion Nigeria, published on the 12th of March, 2025. I'm going to read it, and it should be on the screen. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Chairman, National Judicial Council Directive for the forwarding of Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Diani, applicant in suit number FHC ABJ CS 8352024. Complaint rejoinder dated 27/11/2024, including the verifying affidavit date or dated 15/11/2024, deposed to in the Supreme Court of Nigeria, along with the National Judicial Council correspondence dated 09/12/2024 with the reference number NJC F3 FHC 57/11/16 to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for the information and records of the Federal High Court with respect to the res judicata of the suit number FHC ABJ/CS/835/2/2024 and the qualification of the subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, from the suit number FHC ABJ/CS/835/2024 was legal, lawful, constitutional, and just for the following reasons enumerated below. Now, the caption of this very article or publication from Opinion Nigeria is: Justice James Kolawole Omotosho failed in his unlawful attempt to complicate or to implicate the National Judicial Council and the Chief Justice of Nigeria in the criminal acts of forgery and other crimes that he committed. Justice James Kolawole Omotosho failed in his unlawful attempt to implicate the National Judicial Council and the Chief Justice of Nigeria in the criminal acts of forgery and other crimes that he committed. That is the title of this publication that is coming from Opinion Nigeria. I have read the first paragraph or the introduction. Now, the first paragraph reads, the subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, was complicit in the criminal act of conspiracy, forgery, fabrication of false evidence in a judicial proceeding, and perjury in the respondent, the Honorable Minister of Finance, 18/9/2024, dated processes as evidenced in the prevarication and or non-denial of complicity in the criminal act of conspiracy, forgery, fabrication of false evidence, and perjury contained in the Federal High Court correspondence directed by the subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, dated 10/12/2024, with the reference number FHC ABJ/DCR/835/2024 to Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Dani, the applicant in the matter. Paragraph 2. The subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, contravened Section 295, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, Section 22, subsection 6 of the Federal High Court Act, and Section 26A(c) of the Court of Appeal Act in the open court on the 12/11/2024 by illegally, unlawfully, and unconstitutionally arrogating to himself the constitutional powers and prerogatives of the Court of Appeal by refusing to refer a question law to the Court of Appeal for determination as prayed by me as the applicant in my interlocutory application dated 7/10/2024. Paragraph 3. Please make sure you are making use of the details displaying on the screen. Whatever detail you see displayed on the screen, make use of it. Paragraph 3. The subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, contravenes Section 80, 156, 157, 158, subsection 1, 161, 164, subsection 1 to 17, 182, 362, 363, 364, 365, 366, and 36 of the Penal Code through the commission of the criminal acts of conspiracy, forgery, and fabrication of false evidence, among other criminal acts. Paragraph 4. The subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, contravened rules 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2.1, 2.8, 3.1, 3.3, 11, 1, 3, and 12.2a of the Code of Conduct for Judicial Officers 2016. Paragraph 5. The subject, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, contemptuously challenged the powers and authorities of the CJN/Chairman NJC, who lawfully and constitutionally complied with Section 10, subsection 1 of the Oath Act. It shall be lawful for the Chief Justice of Nigeria, a Justice of the Supreme Court, Notary Public, and any Commissioner for Oaths to administer any lawful oath or to take any lawful affirmation or affidavit which may be required to be taken or made for the purpose of complying with the requirement of any law for the time being in force throughout Nigeria or elsewhere, except where such procedure is expressly or by a necessary implication manifestly excluded by the terms of such law, as aforesaid, and the presumption shall be against any such exclusion with respect to the verifying affidavit dated 15/11/2024 deposed to by Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Dani, the applicant in the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and also forwarded by the National Judicial Council along with the correspondence dated 9/12/2024 with the reference number NJC F.3 FHC.57/11/16 to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for the confirmation or for the information and records of the court with respect to the suit number FHC ABJ/CS/835/2024. Paragraph 6. The subject judge, Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, conspired with the court bailiff and the respondent to deny the service of the applicant's interlocutory application dated 07/10/2024 on the respondent. You need to follow up these details I'm reading out to you concerning the new trial judge of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, contemptuously contravened Order 49 Rules 1 and 2, Federal High Court Civil Procedure Rules 2019 by refusing to disqualify himself from the suit in spite of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Chairman, National Judicial Council directive for the forwarding of Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Adani, applicant in the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024 complaint rejoinder dated 27/11/2024, including the verifying affidavit dated 15/11/2024, along with the National Judicial Council correspondence dated 9/12/2024 with the reference number NJC/F.3/FHC.57/11/16 to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for the information and records of the Federal High Court with respect to the res judicata of the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024 and the disqualification of the subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, from the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024. Paragraph 8. The subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, failed and or refused and or neglected to comply with the Freedom of Information Act with respect to the issuance of several applications by the applicant for CTC of documents/processes in the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024. I am reading out the track record of the new trial judge in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. I continue with the article from Opinion Nigeria. The next paragraph. Suffice it to state that in spite of the Chief Justice of Nigeria/Chairman National Judicial Council directive for the forwarding of Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Adani, applicant in the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024 complaint rejoinder dated 27/11/2024, including the verifying affidavit dated 15/11/2024 deposed to in the Supreme Court of Nigeria, along with the National Judicial Council correspondence dated 9/12/2024 with the reference number NJC/F.3/FHC.57/11/16 to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for the information and records of the Federal High Court with respect to the res judicata of the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024 and the disqualification of the subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, from the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024. The subject judge, Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, also later conspired with Mrs. Mimido Abako, the acting deputy chief registrar, the acting deputy chief registrar of the Federal High Court, Abuja, to commit the criminal acts of destruction of evidence in a judicial proceeding, obliteration of evidence in a judicial proceeding, forgery of evidence in a judicial proceeding as evidenced in the exhibit FHC 3 of the affidavit with pen and or forgery and or fabrication of false evidence in a judicial proceeding as evidenced in exhibit FHC in the affidavit deposed to by Mrs. Mimido Abako with the consent of Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho in the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/835/2024 on the 3rd of February, which is 3/2/2025. 2025. The subject, Judge Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, has therefore fully confirmed himself to evidence and or obliteration of evidence and or fabrication of false evidence and or forgery in a judicial proceeding that are all evidenced in the attachment FMF1 in the preliminary objection that was filed by the respondent on the 27th February 2025 with an invalid MBA seal and without any CTC stamp of the Federal High Court, thereby affirming the decision of the Chief Justice of Nigeria / Chairman, National Judicial Council with respect to the directive for the forwarding of Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Dani, applicant in the suit number FHC ABJ CS/835/2024 complaint rejoinder dated 27/11/2024, including the verifying affidavit dated 15/11/2024, along with the National Judicial Council correspondent dated 9/12/2024 with a reference number NJC F.3/FHC.57/11/16 to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for the information and record of the Federal High Court with respect to the res judicata of the suit number FHC ABJ/CS/835/2024 and the disqualification of the subject Judge Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho from the suit number FHC/ABJ/CS. I'm going to skip some of this because it has been in this record as well. Now, in conclusion, it is hereby placed on record that notwithstanding the dissent of the subject Judge Honorable Justice James Kolawole Omotosho of the Federal High Court into criminalities, illegalities, fraud, and unconstitutionalities, the Chief Justice of Nigeria / Chairman National Judicial Council directive for the forwarding of Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Dani's applicant in the suit number. I've mentioned this repeatedly. Okay? Now, and in conformity with Section 1, subsection 123 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, subsection 1, this Constitution is supreme and its provisions shall have binding force on the authorities and persons throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. 2. The Federal Republic of Nigeria shall not be governed, nor shall any persons or group of persons take control of the government of Nigeria or any part thereof, except in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. 3. If any other law is inconsistent with the provisions of this Constitution shall prevail, and that other law, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. Signed, Dr. Oluwole Adeoye Dani, copied recipient of the number NJC 9/12/2024, dated letter with the reference number. I've mentioned all of this. That is one of the track record of the new trial judge of Nnamdi Kanu. This is to give you a little or a handful of background of what to expect in the trial of Nnamdi Kanu with this very trial judge, Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. Now, without further ado, I'm going to read out to you the book of Psalms, chapter 7, from verse 9 to 15. This is the prayer point. As all of you that love Nnamdi Kanu, all of you from Igbo, all of you from Biafra, as you all face this judge in this last cycle of the legal proceedings of the case of Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria, this book of Psalm is very important. I will be giving you other scriptures for prayers. Psalms chapter 7 from verse 9 to 15. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end in this case of Nnamdi Kanu. But establish the just, Nnamdi Kanu, who has been innocent. No court has been able to convict him from 2015 until today. For the righteous, God tried the hearts and reins. 10. My defense is of God, which serveth the upright in heart. God defend Nnamdi Kanu in this case. 11. God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He has bent his bow and made it ready. 13. He has also prepared for him the instrument of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. 14. Behold, he travelleth with iniquity, and has conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. Read it down to 17, and this is the center of our prayer for now. God bless you. Like the broadcast, share the broadcast. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe. See you very soon.